and it's not often that I get this opportunity, but I was asked to speak to a group of second grade kids. So, I was excited to do that, and I went to the class and wanted to give them an opportunity to show me what they've learned in math and science. So, I don't know, maybe I shot a little high. I asked them a question in string theory. They didn't know what I was talking about. So I sort of shifted gears and I said, look, how do you do, like a math problem, how do you do 3 into 6? So a couple kids raise their hand. I call one little girl. She goes right up to the blackboard and she draws this enormous 6 and puts a 3. And obviously it was not the answer that I had in mind that I was looking for, but for me it was sort of this wonderful moment, because that's really what it is to be a scientist. You don't worry about the expectation. You don't try to find the expected answer. Your goal is to push the boundary of understanding to a place that nobody has previously thought of. So you simply go forward into the unknown. It's scary, it's courageous, and it's the only way that you really push the boundary of understanding. And it's the kind of thing which, I've seen, in other similar circumstances when it comes to us human beings when we're quite young. I mean, my son, he's now 14, but years ago, I guess he was about 4 or 5, I'm telling these bedtime stories, and I get a little carried away. I'm talking about aliens traveling near the speed of light and so on. I don't know if he knows at all what I'm talking about. And then he turns to me and says, Dad, the speed of light, what about the speed of dark? And it was a curious idea, one I'd never actually thought of before. So the young mind that is not burdened by expectation can go to unexpected places. There's another wonderful little story, not mine, you perhaps have heard it. I learned of it from my friend, the great educator Ken Robinson. He tells a story again of a group of second grade kids that are all at their desks, they're all drawing, and the teacher goes up to one little girl and says, "What are you drawing?" And she says, "Well, I'm drawing the face of God." The teacher says, "Wow, I mean, how do you do that? Nobody knows what God looks like." And the little girl says, "In a minute they will." So that's kind of how we start, right? And it's the scientists, in my view, who are the ones that hold on to that willingness to have that wondrous sensibility of the unknown, this courageous quality of being willing to challenge convention, to go against what's accepted, what's part of the canon of knowledge, and to simply go forward. And it's that capacity which I think really drives home the point that we humans are able to engage with this universe in ways that are utterly astounding, incredibly inspiring, and ultimately allowing us to gain a clearer sense of how we fit into the big picture. And that's really what I'd like to do here in the brief time that I have with you today, is tell you 3 episodes, 3 vignettes, 3 stories, if you will, that illustrate this idea of the mind that's willing to go forward in unusual ways. And in each case, the story yields radical new insights into the structure of space, time, and reality. And so these 3 stories that I'm going to tell you each rely upon one particular class of insights that really come almost exclusively from Albert Einstein. Insights that go under the broad heading of the general theory of relativity. So I'm going to begin with story number 1.